We are back with the Bat stuff. Two Batman books again. Last week, I think I had two Batman books. Actually, I had three, but one of them I still haven't read. Um, am I getting too much Batman? It feels a little saturated, but I'm not sure what to drop. Anyway, this week I got Batman and Robin Eternal, which I definitely don't want to drop, and Batman Arkham Knight Genesis, which is just a 6-issue mini, and we're on issue 4. So mostly I'm going to focus on Batman and Robin Eternal, because that's what these weekly Bat videos are centered around. This issue was written by Genevieve Valentine, and unlike Steve Orlando, she seemed to do a good job filling in the hole. I assume the little segment of the plot that was given to her to fill in. She did a good job. She was aided by a very decent artist by the name of Alvaro Martinez. Never heard of him before, but I thought he did a good job with one or two exceptions. This is so silly, but I felt that Dick Grayson should have been sexier. Here he practically has a flat butt, and I don't think that's the kind of butt that everyone's excited about. But I could be wrong. So yeah, his version of Dick Grayson seemed a bit clunky to me. And since he's kind of the central character going on here, although I did enjoy a lot of the other stuff he did, and I liked his sequence with Jason Todd and Red Robin. My brain is really not working well this week, but anyway, maybe I didn't analyze whether they look the way they should. Actually, I just focused on Grayson. But in general, we got really good storytelling, really good atmosphere. I really enjoyed the flashbacks to Bruce Wayne as when he was Batman some years ago in Prague, and then the modern day adventures in Prague. And it just continued to make the mystery that is Mother very interesting, and it kept all the characters going properly. And there was a little oddity that we've been joking about on Twitter, where they say that Orphan had his foot cut off, when back in issue 5 we all saw him have his hand cut off. And it seems like an odd mistake to make, but I'm guessing what happened is these books are probably all being written at the same time. So Genevieve Valentine probably didn't even get to read issue 5. Maybe she either misread the plot summary, or maybe they changed hand to foot. Did the editor not get to read these in order either when they edited them? They might be all sort of going out to artists at the same time. But that was a funny thing to pass by. It almost felt like the editor is not reading the books very closely. There's a really nice page. So, yeah. It's hard to put one's finger on things, but it still feels like this did not achieve the level of the Tinian issues or the Tim Seeley issues. But if most of the sort of non-Tinian issues, the in-between issues, are of this caliber, this will continue to be a very satisfying series. Clearly, Genevieve Valentine didn't get to put much of her own stamp on this, at least not that I could see. But still, it was enjoyable. Another little quibble was we have Bluebird, Harper Row, talking about stealing things. And I don't recall going back to her first issue where they focused on her in the main Batman story, the one drawn by Becky Cloonan, or anywhere else I've read about her, that she's a thief. Her father's a criminal. Maybe she did some stealing somewhere deep in the past, but I thought she had internships and worked for the electrical company or something like that, using all her technical know-how. So this is the first time I recall, stealing things being kind of a regular thing for her. And that made me a little uncomfortable that, Grayson said, well, don't let me know who you steal from and we'll pay them back. Does Grayson have a lot of funds? I mean, I guess he has enough, but where does the money come for all these travels and everything? Because I still am pretty sure that Bruce Wayne does not have his fortune anymore. Love the scenes in the ballet. I didn't quite get what was supposed to be going on with Cassandra Cain. Was she just enjoying the ballet, or was she recognizing all the mother stuff going on in it? So overall a good issue. Not a whole lot more to say. But 7 issues in, this is still looking like a strong series. And maybe, is totally like it's not like a place to start if you haven't read a lot of Batman, but if you've read a lot of Batman, if you're interested in some of the mythos, this is probably my favorite, for me, because I have my favorite Batman series going at the moment. Very close second. In fact, if this issue had been better, maybe I would have been calling this my favorite, because issue 3 was so good that was kind of making it the cream of the crop. This issue continues logically everything in issue 3, but in a sense recapitulates it, just brings us back mostly to the stuff we've already seen, that Jason is brainwashed by the Joker, tortured, that he is taking money from criminals and being their boss to get more money. I guess the only thing new here is we bring more focus on the role that Harley Quinn plays, both in the past and in the present. It does kind of beg the question, so now for those of you who've read it, I'm kind of wondering, is Joker's intention to have him kill Batman, or just fail to kill Batman but be another torture to Batman, that his sidekick comes back and tries to kill him? The other interesting thing, and I'm not great on my Jason Todd knowledge, but it seems like here he's not really killed. In this version of Batman, which is based on the video game, the death is completely faked. Is it ever revealed in the old 52 that Jason Todd didn't really die? I thought he was literally brought back from death. And I don't know why they wanted to change that, except to make it all about the machinations of the Joker. But it's an interesting take on it, and kind of nice that you don't have to use Lazarus Pits or some other hand-wavium to make him come back to life. He never was killed. He was just tortured for a year plus and brainwashed. Okay, so let's see what happens next week. I don't know if I'm getting any other I think there might be another Arkham Knight coming out next week. Is there? Or maybe I will just be getting Batman and Robin Eternal. That would be amazing. Well, probably there'll be Grayson or Robin, son of Batman. Still feels weird that Damian is not in the Batman world, and he's not really mentioned, because his father is alive, and shouldn't these people also be wondering where he is? And if his father can't take care of him, shouldn't we be taking care of him? And what is Alfred doing about Damian? Alfred's not... there's an interesting thing. I would like to know more about Alfred in all of this. But Alfred seems to not be playing a role. I'm trying to remember if he showed up. I feel like he showed up in the first issue maybe, but I'd have to go back and read. I fantasize about having some time to reread all of the current Batman and Robin Eternal up from the beginning, and maybe do the same with the current Batman story. Anyhow, hope all of you who are reading Batman are enjoying it. All of you who just watch here to say, haha, I knew I don't need to read Batman. I hope you enjoy that too. Talk to you.